All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Yes, depending on the location that you are joining this is Zoom from. This is Coach Mo joining you from Johannesburg. We are grateful once again for the gift of life. It's a privilege to make it to the living list. I'm sure there's a purpose for that. So I want to welcome everyone joining us on this platform today. Yes, if you are able to hear me, if I'm loud and clear, drop me a 1 in the chat. This is an online platform. Sometimes you may think that you're audible, yet on the other side, participants cannot hear you. So if you are able to hear me, please indicate in the chat with a 1 that you are able to hear me. Okay, all right. So I'm loud and clear. So yes, welcome everyone. Those that are just joining us today, this is the 3rd day of our training since we started for this year on TA, which is technical analysis. Yeah, we are right at the beginning of our syllabus. We are yet to move further. So we are right at the beginning of our syllabus, right? So this week, on Wednesday, when we got started, we have been looking at an application called TradingView that we are going to use when we are doing our TA, right? Our technical analysis. So as beginners on the platform, you are requested to have this application. So we have been customizing it these past 2 days. I think today we'll just finish a couple of features. Then after that, we are going to venture into something else to contribute to the day. And then we're going to call it a morning. Then from there, we will meet on Monday where we're going to start now building something on TradingView, right? So yesterday we were still doing customization of our TradingView. Yes, if there are members that you want them to join us on this platform, you want them to start learning how to generate their own signal, how to trade on their own without relying on signals. This is the platform, so you can invite them, though it does not happen overnight. But this is where signal providers are produced. I myself am a product of this class. Yes, I'm a product of this class. So when you are consistently attending these trainings and then you focus on the knowledge, believe you me, you are no longer going to remain the same after some time. So yes, I'm a testimony to that. Yes, Leader Chadwick Bibo, if he's here, is a testimony as well. He's a product of this class. So you might be undermining these free lessons, but you are able to see and benefit that what you're getting in the community is also being cooked here, How I wish, how I could love that we could have more, we could produce more. Yes, so that our community do have a lot of productive people. Yes, how I wish that we could produce more, so that our community do have a lot of productive people in terms of producing signals. Okay, so let me share my screen. And then we wind up for today. Then we go to the other section that will be next week, Monday. Yeah, Our technical analysis is only for working days, Monday to Friday. Then weekend we rest. Weekend we rest. Okay. So let me share my screen. All right. Am I still on the Zoom? Please let me know. If I'm still on the Zoom, give me a sign. If I'm still on the platform, give me a sign. Okay. All right. I saw something just happened here, so I thought I'm kicked out. I saw something just happened here, so I thought I'm out. Okay. So let me share my screen once again. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have been looking at TradingView. We have been going through other features of TradingView. We have learned how to create a watch list. We have learned how to pull some tools that we can use when we are doing our technical analysis, right? So I think it's just a few dots that we needed to finalize here. Then after that, we'll be doing an introduction to candlesticks, right? So we are on our watch list. This is our watch list. So I'm gonna just open a coin at random, or probably let me pull out BTC here. Okay. So when you open your chart, let me remove these things here. What's going on? Okay. There's something happening here. I don't know what is it. My screen just switches off. That's why I'm constantly asking if I'm still in the Zoom. My screen will just switch off. I don't know what's going on. So please, my co-host, just be on the look. Just be on the look in case I'm no longer audible. You just needed to make sure that you are communicating with me. All right. Are we still friends? Are we still friends? Let me come back to the Zoom to confirm that. Are we still friends? Okay. All right. So let me go back to TradingView. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we call a chart. Okay. This is what we call a chart, a composition of candles. A composition of candles. So these candles, you can see that they are in two colors, right? They are in two colors, these candles. These colors, they are said to be like this. Okay, the colors are said to be like this. You can choose your own colors as long as you understand what those colors will represent when you're doing your technical analysis. But most of the traders, all right, they like to use red and green. I have seen some, they also use a little bit of white and black, okay? But most of the traders, they like the green and the red candles, okay? Now, where do you set these colors? Because someone will think, especially a beginner, will think that candles, they are always in red and green. No, it's not like that. It is all about the setting, right? It is all about the setting. So when you double tap on these candles, when you try to double tap on the candles, just like when we were doing our time zone setting, okay? When we were doing our time zone setting, when you double tap on the candles, for example, I'm going to double tap like this, okay? You see that it is going to change, all right? So you can see I have double tapped on the candles. Now it has given me this. So here, this is where you do the setting of the candles, okay? This is where you do the settings of the candles. So you can see that the candles that are in green, it is because of this setting here, okay? The candles that are in red, it is because of this setting on the other side. If I am to change these colors, you will see, for example, let me change the green candles to white, okay? I want to change the green candles to white, okay? So that you are able to see the difference. All right, can you see now? Can you see how my candles are looking like? I have changed the ones in green to white, okay? So you can do the settings on your candles. You can do the setting. I'm just trying to help somebody who is of the notion that candles, they are always in green and in red. No, it is about the setting of the colors, okay? So you just double tap on the candles, then you are going to arrive here. You double tap on the candles, then you arrive here. If you cannot double tap on the candles, another way to come here is through this icon that I was teaching you here, okay? This icon that is over here, this one, this icon. When you follow this icon, okay, it is going to take you to that area where you change the colors of your candles. When you tap there, you're gonna come here, then you tap on more settings, okay? You're gonna tap on more settings here, okay? You tap here, so you are doing the long route. You are doing the long route. So when you arrive on this page, then you're gonna tap as well on the scales and lines. You tap on scales and lines at this arrow pointing to your far right. Okay, the arrow pointing to your far right. Okay, let me come back to Zoom. Which other apps are disturbing me here? Am I still here, guys? Am I still here? Let me just check. Am I still here? Give me a yes if I'm still here.
Yes, you are.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So I was saying you tap on this arrow here. Okay. You tap on this arrow. Then when you tap on that arrow, it's going to take you to settings. When you are on the page of settings, then you are going to use symbols. I mean symbol, not symbols, symbol. You're going to tap on symbol, okay? When you tap on symbol, then you're going to arrive on this page now. This is where we are, where I was arriving when I was double tapping the candles, okay? So this is where you do the settings, okay? You just need to choose the color of the candles that you are wanting it to be, okay? You choose the color, then after that, you do the opacity here, down here, there is the opacity, meaning to say, the the color that you are choosing, okay? The color you are choosing, at what opacity should it be? Okay, should it be thick or it should be thin? Okay, do you want it to be thick or you want it a little bit light? So this is the opacity. It should be 100% down here. The opacity, it should be 100%. You see, if you reduce it, you can see that the color is minimizing. It is reducing. Okay, so it should be 100%. Then it's gonna be a full color. All right, so after that, then you tap your OK, you click your OK here, then all is going to be set. You tap OK here, then all is going to be OK. So I am back with my green candles, right? My green candles and my red candles. Okay, is this okay, guys? Are we together? Are we together here? Are we together? That is one of the area that I wanted you guys to understand, because someone will leave this training at the end thinking that candles, they are always green and red. No, that's not the case. It's all about settings. So you can do the settings on your candles. All right. If you see others using white and black, don't be surprised and say, what type of candles are these ones? It's all about the settings. Right. So I think the other area that I wanted us to also look is under the settings as well, right? Under the settings as well. Yes. So when you tap on this icon here, let me go back. You can see that when you open a coin, I'm not sure about your TradingView, okay? But I just want also to help someone probably might be having a problem. So when you look at your candles on the chart, on the right side of your chart, where the price is going, because the price normally comes from the left going to the right. I'm simply saying candles, the chart is coming from the left here, going to the front, which is the right. Okay, that's where the market is going. It's coming from the past going to the future, right? So here, when you look far to the future, you are going to see that there is a price. There is a price that is indicating on this side here. Okay, there is a price there. The price of that particular asset that you'll be looking at. The price is indicated on this side here, right? Now, when you look far, when you look furthermore on the price, you are going to find out that there is a time that is allocated, or there is a time that is ticking on the price. Okay, there is a time that is ticking on the price. You are going to find out that if your setting of candles here, you are looking at them in a 4-hour time frame, whether it is a 1-hour time frame, you will see how much time is left for that current candle to close. For example, in this scenario, you will see that I'm having Bitcoin here. If I enlarge my screen this side, you see I'm having Bitcoin, and I am looking at Bitcoin in a 4-hour time frame down here. Yesterday we were looking at how do you change your time frame, right? So I'm looking at Bitcoin in a 4-hour time frame, okay? Meaning to say this current candle here, it is 4 hours for it to complete from where it started to where it is and to where it is going. For it to complete, it should take 4 hours. That's what it means. So when you check here, you will see that there is the price of the Bitcoin right now, and below it there is a time that is counting there. How many minutes, okay, or how much time is left for this current candle to complete? Okay, there is time there. So there is something like 2 hours, okay, which is almost like 3 hours. Let me just say 3 hours currently, okay, because it's 2 hours 59 minutes and some seconds that are dancing there. So approximately that is 3 hours. So there is 3 hours left for this candle to complete, right? So this setting here of the time and how it is supposed to be reading like that, you do it here in case someone is not having what is on my screen. So you look at this icon here, the setting icon, this one, the setting icon. All right, when you tap on the setting icon, you are going to come on this page. Okay, on this page, when you come on this page, you are able to see that there is labels here, okay, and there is lines here, okay. There is labels here and there is also lines, as you can see that, okay. So you can toggle these areas. When you tap on the labels, okay, when you tap under labels, you are going to find this. You are going to find this, okay. So I have ticked that my screen or my chart, it should be showing me what I have ticked here, okay. So when you come to my screen, you are going to see that when I put an indicator, it shows me the name of the indicator, okay. It writes the name of the indicator. Where did I go to? Okay, let me tap here. I want you to see some of the things that are happening here. All right, let me put an indicator. Let me just put an indicator so that I make my point valid. Let me put an indicator so that I make my point valid. Okay. Let me just put auto fib retracement, and probably I also put moving average convergence divergence indicator, which is the MACD. Okay. So you can see here on my screen, if you look closely, there is the name of the indicator writing here. Here, can you see? Autofib retracement, MACD, okay? And it normally shows me when the price went high, okay? When the price went high, which area, according to this session or according to this specific area, okay, or this specific region, how high the price went. So it is showing me that this is how high the price went, this is how low the price went, okay. So these labels here, the name of the indicator, okay, it is under setting here. When you tap on this icon, then you come on labels. You come on labels here, okay. You come on labels. So when you tap on labels, then you are able to see, okay. See, I do have high and low price labels. I have ticked this, so it shows me the high and low price levels, okay. It also shows me indicators and financial value labels, the names of indicators that are on my screen. It shows me the name. It also shows me countdown to bar close. That is the time, the one I was showing you, okay. Countdown to bar close. All right. So you are able to see, if I want to put the bid and ask labels, you will see I'm gonna have them. For example, if I tick this, if I tick the bid and ask, okay, if I have ticked the bid and ask, can you see what is happening here? There is a movement of bid and ask on my right side of the screen, okay. Can you see when price is moving, there is ask, there is bid, okay. There is ask, there is bid, but it's not very important. It's not very important. All right. But I just wanted you to know, how do you bring this on your screen? It is under the setting here. All right. It is under the setting, and on the setting, it is under labels. That's where you tick. That's where you tick those things. Okay. That's where you tick those things under labels. Under labels. Okay, that is under labels. And now on the price line, can you see I do have Bitcoin price here? Okay, I do have Bitcoin price here. There is a line, a dotted line. Okay, if I extend, you are going to see that there is a dotted line to indicate the position of price. There is a dotted line here to indicate the position of price here. Okay, so this dotted line, it is coming there because of here you come on lines. Here you come on lines. You come on lines here. Okay, so when you tap there, you are going to see price line that I have ticked. Okay, the price line that I have ticked here, it is only the price line I have ticked under the lines. Under the lines, I only ticked this line. Okay, because high and low lines, I don't want them because I do have already the high and low levels. So I don't need the high and low lines. I don't need the lines now. So I only need the price line. That's what I have ticked there, right? So that's why you are able to see these things on my screen. I'm just showing someone who is saying, but your trading view does not look like mine. Okay, your trading view does not look like mine. Okay, and probably there is someone who is having a trading view, and right at the bottom here, let me remove these indicators. Right at the bottom here, there are some bars. Okay, right at the bottom here, there are some bars here at the bottom. Some they are having trading view, and they do have bars. They do have bars like this. Okay, they do have bars. You can remove those bars by tapping on the bars. You double tap on the bars and then you are going to remove them. Okay, so that your trading view can look neat. Okay, you can double tap on the bars and then you remove them so that your chart looks neat. Okay, there are some things like mountains down here. On other people's trading views, there are some things like mountains down here. Okay, down here there are things like mountain, which are like bars. I don't know, it's volume bars or something like that. Okay, so if you don't want those, you can just double tap and then you remove them so that you do have a clean chart. You do have a clean chart. Is this okay, ladies and gentlemen? Is this okay? Are you learning? If you are a newbie, you are new to TradingView, you are new to this class, yes. Are you learning? Are you learning? Are you learning? All right. So let's switch a little bit now. I would say we have done at least what is needful when it comes to TradingView at the moment. We have done what is needful when it comes to TradingView. So let's put one more gear. Let's put one more gear so that we appreciate why are we starting from TradingView. Okay, yes. All right, so let me go back to TradingView again. Let me pull these candles, this chart. Let me remove this chart from my screen. I need an empty screen here. Okay, if I can put it down there. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we are here to learn about price action. The reason why we are here to learn about price action. So price action, it is connected to any financial market. If you are into a financial market, there should be a price. Okay, there should be a price. So we are here to understand price action. So in every financial market, as far as price is concerned, you should expect that you are going to find two forces. Okay, you are going to find two forces in the financial market. In any market, you are going to find two forces. If you may not call them forces, you are going to call them powers. Okay, if you can't call them forces, you are going to call them powers. Okay, yes. If you cannot call them powers, you're gonna find a name that suit that particular industry. All right, yes. So when you come to other classes or other areas of learning, these two forces or these two powers, they are referred as supply and demand. Okay, when you come to economics, yes, they do have a language that is familiar in that classroom. Okay, so you are going to hear the word supply and demand. Okay, if you are not going to hear the word supply and demand, you are going to hear the word buyers and sellers. Okay, buyers and sellers. If you don't hear supply and demand, you're gonna hear a familiar name to it, which is buyers and sellers. Okay, when you come to the crypto world, okay, you are going to hear the word bulls. Okay, you're gonna hear the word bulls and bears. When you come to the crypto world, we do have a language. That's why people, they are in the business, because they heard about the bull run. Okay, so when the bull is not running, they think that there is no business at all. Yes. So we do have bulls, we do have bears. Okay, so the bulls, they are the ones that are referred as buyers when you talk about supply and demand, as well as buyers and sellers. So the bulls are the buyers, the bears are the sellers in the market. Okay, in the market, the bulls are the buyers, the bears are the sellers. Okay, the bulls are also referred as demand in the market. You can call them demand, while the bears are also referred as supply. It depends in what classroom are you. Okay, so in the crypto classroom, we normally use these terms of bulls and bears, or buyers and sellers. Okay, in other classroom, it's when you're gonna hear the word demand and supply, but it is referring to the same thing. So these two forces, the bulls and the bears, demand and supply, buyers and sellers, they are the ones that controls price action. They are the ones that dominate in the market. These are the two forces that compete on the ground when it comes to financial market. You cannot have a financial market if there are no buyers and sellers. Is this making sense, guys? I am introducing something. I want to take you somewhere. I want to take you somewhere. Are we still friends so far? Are we still friends so far? Let me see. Are we still friends? I didn't explain the bid and ask because it's not very important. That's why I just showed you, and after that I left it. If it was very important in your trading, I could have explained further. Okay, but what I was focusing on is the one that matters. John, thank you so much for asking that question. But when you see that something I did not emphasize, it means it's not very important for your trading. Okay, just understand that. But thank you for asking that question. It shows that you do have interest and you were following. Okay. All right. So let's come back here. I was explaining about two forces that dominate price action. So it is the buyers and sellers. So here in this crypto classroom, mostly you're gonna hear about buyers and sellers, or probably you're gonna hear the bulls and the bears. Okay, those are the two most terminologies that are used here, referring to demand and supply, referring to buyers and sellers, bulls and bears. Okay, now these two forces, for them to be understood, okay, for them to be followed easily, all right, you also needed to understand a couple of things. You also needed to understand a couple of things. All right. So these two forces that we are looking at right now, they are the ones that dominate price action. When you open your trading view and then you see a chart, okay, you are seeing this chart here. You are seeing this chart here. You are looking at two types of forces. Okay, you are looking at two types of forces, and these two forces, they are represented by what we call a candle. Okay, each and every force here is represented by a candle. So according to what you are seeing on the screen, we decided that when it comes to the buyers, we should give them a green candle. When it comes to sellers, we should give them a red candle. So in this chart here, the green candles represents where buyers are dominating or where buyers are in control. While when you see red candles, you should know that that is sellers dominating the price, being in charge of the price. Okay? So we are about to introduce what is a candle. What is a candlestick? Okay, how did it start? What is the history? Okay, why are we using candles? Why can't we use a line? Okay, why are we using candles instead of using a what? A line. We can use a line here. We can use a line here. All right, we can use a line here. When we come here and go to our chart type, okay, we can put a line here. Why are we using candles instead of a line? What is the essence? So we are trying to establish that. We are trying to establish that. So first of all, we needed to understand that buyers and sellers in the market, they are represented by a candle. When it comes to buyers in the market, they are represented by a green candle. Okay? Buyers in the market, they are represented by a green candle, while sellers in the market are represented by a red candle. So we gonna start digging deep into these candles, okay? Or we're gonna start digging deep into a candlestick, okay? Its formation, how does it form? When it is forming or when it is looking this way, is there a message behind it? Okay, when you see some candles are bigger, some candles are small, is there any message behind that candle to you as a trader? Simply because the buyers and the sellers, they do have a behavior. they do have a character. In their act of buying and selling, they portray a habit. And we want to study that behavior so that when we come and join them, we know what they are capable of. When they are making a move in the market, we should be able to follow, because that move is portrayed by a footprint of a candle. The way the candle is formed, it tells us what techniques buyers and sellers are doing in the market. Why this candle is smaller than this one? Why this candle is having a long lower shadow and it is having a short upper shadow? Why is it like that? Is there a reason behind it? So these are footprints that buyers and sellers, they are leaving in the market. If you want to know them better, come and look at how these candles looks like, how these candles are displayed. So the composition of all these candles, it is what we call a chart. The composition of all these candles in a certain area, okay, in a certain area of your focus, is what we call a chart. So a chart is a composition of candles. So candles, we are looking at the behavior of buyers and sellers. Remember, buyers and sellers, when they are in the market doing the act of buying and selling, they display emotions. Their emotions, they are hidden. Okay, they are hidden. So for us to know, for us to see how emotions buyers and sellers can become, we can read those emotions through looking at a candle. The candle is going to show us, the candle is going to reveal, the candle is going to display the emotions of buyers and sellers in the market. Yes. Have you ever seen Royal Q Revolution Community when they are trading jelly, when they are trading broccoli? Have you ever seen when they are making money how they behave in the WhatsApp group? Have you ever seen them? Have you ever seen them? When they get liquidated, have you ever seen them how they behave? Have you ever seen that? So for you to know them better, you need to come here and open the jelly coin, open the broccoli coin, and look at the chart. Look at the candles. You are going to see somewhere Leader Doris Angel somewhere. You're going to see Leader Emmanuel somewhere in a candle. You are going to see Leader Sol when he gets liquidated somewhere in a candle. Yes, so we are here to study candles so that we are able to see, okay, where should we enter when others are entering, which is the right time to enter. Where should we exit the market? Understanding that this is the right time to exit the market. I don't know if I am laying a good background here. I'm not sure if I'm talking to somebody. All right. Yes, I'm not sure if I'm able to lay a good foundation, because on Monday I'm taking you somewhere. On Monday, I'm taking you somewhere. So you need to know that we can study your emotions. We can measure your emotions. There is a tool that we are able to find out how emotional you become when you are liquidated, how emotional you become when you are excited making profit. We are able to see that. We can measure that through a candle. Yes. So that is the reason why we are meeting here. When you are able to generate a signal, it means you understand how buyers and sellers are communicating in the market. That's what we want to leave it to you, so that you are able to participate well. You don't just come and enter a coin. You'll be entering while others are getting out. So you need to know what is happening. Okay, you need to know if you want to become a buyer. which position should you look at for your entry? You want to become a seller, you are getting out of the market. You need to know also. That's why we are here to understand price action. We are here to understand price action. Are we together? Yes, that is the reason we are here. So for you to understand those, you're going to need TradingView. That's the essence now. I hope you are able to communicate. What is the importance of TradingView? For you to learn about a candle, you're going to need TradingView. Okay? Yes. All right. So let me proceed a little bit. Now we have established that buyers and sellers in the market, they are represented by a candle. Okay? Buyers and sellers in the market, they are represented by a what? By a candle. Okay? So a green candle represents buyers, while a red candle represents what? Sellers. Okay? A green candle represents buyers, a red candle represents sellers. So let us look a little bit at a history of candlesticks or a history of candles. Okay, how did it come about? Why are we here talking about candles? How did it start? All right. So when it comes to candlesticks, they have been around, yes, a little bit longer than anything similar when it comes to the financial market, especially in the Western world. Okay. Let me bring that screen here where I was able to write. Let me bring my TradingView. I just needed this screen so that I'll be able to write. Let me pull out the chart. I just needed the open. Yes. So let us look a little bit. There are people who always want to know, okay, the history of something, though sometimes it may not matter. Okay. Yes. So when it comes to candlesticks, they have been around a little longer than anything, especially when we are looking at the Western world. Okay. Because the Japanese, they were looking at charts, they were looking at candles. Okay. As far back as the 17th century. Okay. The Japanese, they were looking at candles as far as the 17th century. Someone was running away from history at school. Here you are. You thought you have escaped. You were running away from history. Now history has found you again. Here we are. The Japanese, they were looking at charts as far as 17th century. Okay. Yes. While when it comes to the United States, the US, they were looking at candles or at charts as far as the 19th century. Okay. So it seems like the Japanese came early. All right. They came early than the US. If the US, there is something that they are doing, thinking that is theirs, then we are able to find out that they are not the originators. Okay. Yes. So when it comes to the charts, if the Japanese were looking at charts at 17th century, it means 2 centuries later, it's when the US were coming in. All right. Now, rice trading was established in Japan in 1654. I don't know if there is someone who was born in 1654 and is here right now. Okay. Yes. So rice trading was established in Japan in the year 1654. This rice, I'm talking of the rice that you know, the ones that you eat. Don't think that I'm talking about something else. No, I'm talking about that crop called rice. Its market started to boom in Japan around 1654. Mind you, during this period, it was not only rice. Okay, it was not only rice. There were also other commodities like gold and silver. Okay, there was gold, there was silver, there was rapeseed oil that was also on the market. But it happened that rice market dominated all these other markets that I am talking about. The gold, the silver, the rapeseed oil, they were dominated by rice. It seems like rice became a hard currency for Japan. So somebody was like, wow, what is going on with this? And that person had an interest to find out why rice is dominating their market. And he wanted to be able to understand the behavior of buyers and sellers of rice. Ladies and gentlemen, rice markets dominated Japan at this particular time, and rice became like a hard currency for Japan. Because of this, there was a gentleman by the name Munehisa, a Japanese name, Munehisa. Yes, you can give this name to your child if you are a trader, so that you associate yourself with candles. Yes. All right, it's just a joke. Just a joke, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes. So when rice became a hard currency, when rice was dominating the market in Japan, a gentleman by the name Munehisa Homma decided to find out the behavior of buyers and sellers of rice. And he wanted to understand their behavior. In another way, he wanted to find a tool that he can use to measure the emotions of buyers and sellers, those were dominating in rice buying and selling. So this guy, Munehisa Homma, decided to come up with a way on how he can measure the temperature of buyers and sellers when it comes to price action. So this is the gentleman who came up with the idea of a candle. This guy, Munehisa Homma, according to history, it tells us that he is the one who decided to come up with a tool that we call a candlestick today. The idea was to measure the behavior of buyers and sellers when it comes to rice. Little did he know that today we are going to have crypto. Little did he know that we are going to have other markets like Forex. And the same idea of candles is going to be applied in those markets. So when Munehisa Homma was developing the idea of a candlestick, the main reason was to measure the temperature, the buying temperature and the selling temperature. The temperature for buyers, the temperature for sellers. For which market? The rice market that was booming in Japan by then. That is the reason why today we are seated here trying to understand the basic when it comes to supply and demand dynamics. Simply because a gentleman, Munehisa Homma, decided to develop a tool that helps us to measure the behavior of buyers and sellers today. Today we are able to see from wherever we are able to see that the price of Bitcoin is 86 cents. Wherever we are seated, we are able to see that simply because of a guy who said, how can we know when price is going up, when price is going down, what is happening? Then we are able to understand that buyers and sellers, they are competing in the market, but they are hiding their emotions. They don't want us to know how emotionally they become when they are buying and when they are selling. How can we know that? Then we need a tool that we can measure that behavior, which is a candle, a candlestick. History of a candlestick. Are we still friends? I'm not a history teacher. I'm not a history teacher. I'm a candlestick teacher, okay? I'm not a history teacher. I am a candlestick teacher. I'm not a history teacher. I am a candlestick teacher. All right. Yes, so we are moving slowly but surely. I said that we are going somewhere. We are going somewhere. Now, how many minutes are left? Okay. Now, let me say something about candles. Okay? I told you that here, when you come here on TradingView, okay? When you come here on TradingView, instead of candles, you can change them, okay? Instead of candles, you can change them to a line, all right? Instead of candles, you can change them to a line. Can you see? We do have a line here instead of candles, okay? If it is not a line, you can also change. You can also change your chart type, okay? You can put these bars. Can you see these bars here? So I did put candles. I did put a line. Now I am putting bars. Okay, I am putting bars. So I want to ask you a question. Between these bars, this is a bar that you are seeing on the screen. It's a bar. It is also a representation of what is happening in the market. This bar. Okay, so this is a bar, right? Now, between this bar and this line, the bar and the line, and then and the candle, the bar, the line, and the candle. Which one is easy? Which one is easy to identify price action with? Which one is easy to chart? Between the bar, the line, and the candle, which one is easy? According, be honest with yourself. Which one is easy to read when it comes to price, to understand price action? Okay. Now, I am answering these questions objectively because we are trying to find out why, okay? We are trying to find out why candlesticks are important in your trading analysis. Okay? You could have used a line to analyze the market. You could have used a bar to analyze the market. That question, why it comes to your trading analysis. Are we together, ladies and gentlemen? You need to understand candles. When you understand candles, you're going to be able to participate very well. So please don't leave this classroom until we are done, because next week on Monday, now I am bringing every detail of a candlestick. You need to know parts of a candlestick. How does a candle start? How does a candle end? What are the names that are given to the parts of a candlestick? Does it matter when the other candle is bigger than the other? The other candle will look like it's not eating well. It's like it's lacking some vitamin B, some vitamin K. It will look so small. It's like it's having kwashiorkor or the candle in a 4-hour time frame. The other one is bigger, the other one is small. What is the importance of that thing behind the candle? So why candlestick matters when it comes to trading analysis? Candlesticks, they are very important to you as a trader analyzing the market, because a candle, it is considered as a visual representation. Okay? A candlestick is considered as a what? As a visual representation. Just by looking at this candle here, you are able to see the market just like anyone else in the world. If someone is in United Arab Emirates and someone is in Johannesburg, all of us, we are looking at Bitcoin right now, and we are looking at Bitcoin in the 4-hour time frame. All of us, we are going to have the same analysis. We're going to have the same view. Okay? Because a candle acts like a visual representation of the market. Are we together? The candle is considered as a visual representation of what is happening right now in the market. If you look at this candle, you are able to see how Bitcoin is performing right now. Despite your location, you are able to see what is the price of Bitcoin right now. All of us, we are able to see at the same time. So this is a visual representation of what is going right now in the price of Bitcoin. In the market of Bitcoin, what is the price? So this is a visual representation, okay? Just by looking at a candle. The other thing that we can find when you look at a candle, you will find some valuable information about the opening of the price. As you can see here, the opening of the price, where the price opened, we are going to break that next week. You need to understand, when it comes to sellers, where do they open the market? Okay? Where do they open the price? In each and every session, whether it is a 30 minutes, whether it is a 1-hour session, whether it is a 4-hour session, whether it is a 1-day session, when it comes to buyers, where do they open their price? What about sellers? Where do they open their price? When they open the price, where do they close? As buyers, when they say we are closing this session, when it comes to trading, where do they close? Do they close up? Do they close down? What about sellers? The same applies. So by looking at a candle, you are able to see where price opened and where price closed. At the same time, you are also able to see, for example, if you look at this candle over here, just by looking at it, you are able to see that this is the highest the price went. This is the lowest the price went. Even if there was no price here, you are able to see this is how high this thing went. This is how low this thing went. So you are able to have a clue in terms of high and low of price just by looking at a candle. So the candle gives us valuable information about the opening of the price. Okay, not only the opening, the high, how price went high and how low price went. Not only that, even the closing of the price. Where did the price close? So we do have an idea about price movement. If we are able to see, for example, in this current candle here, we are able to see, okay? We are able to see the opening of the price, and we are able to see the closing of the price, and we are able to see how high and how low the price went, then we are able to see which direction of the price is going after this one. After this candle, we are able to have an idea about the price movement. Is the price going to go up? Is the price going to go down? Looking at this, by having the high, the low of the market, the opening of the market, we do have an idea on price movement. So when you know price movement, you are able to make your decisions correctly, your trading decisions, because now you know how price is moving. Okay? Candlesticks, they are also flexible. What do I mean they are flexible? Okay? They are people who are trading the financial market just by looking at one candle. They are people that normally focuses on studying candles much. So they can just look at one candle here. It is going to tell them that according to how this candle is formulated, for example, this one here, just by looking at this candle and you understand, okay, why this candle is having the long thing here, down here, and the upper thing there is short. What message is hidden in this? Is there a special message to you as a trader? When you understand this, you'll be able to know that what does this candle portray? What does it tell you about the next price action, the next movement of price? From here, you are able to establish that. That's why I'm saying one candle alone, or just by looking at a candle, you are able to be flexible in terms of analyzing price action. Just by looking at one candle, you are able to see what is going on here. Okay? What is going on here? So, ladies and gentlemen, next week we'll be digging deep into candlesticks. If you want to learn about price action, you need to acquaint yourself with the candlesticks. Before anything else, when you are drawing support and resistance, you are drawing support and resistance on candles. So you need to know what type of candles are you drawing your support and resistance on. Yes. Anyone with a question, I think I needed to leave for today. I'm leaving it here for today. I have just introduced the history of candles and why do we use candles? Why candles are very important when it comes to trading analysis. Okay, so Monday I'll be taking one candle. We open it, we find what is inside that candle when it comes to its contents, part of a candlestick, which we call candlestick anatomy. Candlestick anatomy. Yes. Anyone with a question before we call it a morning? Anyone with a question before we call it a morning? Anyone with a question? You can ask your question in the chat, or you can just raise your hand and I'm going to allow you to unmute. Anyone with a question? Anybody with a question? I'm waiting here. So if you miss next week's lesson, believe you me, you're going to struggle to catch up. You will struggle to catch up. Yes, you can watch a recording, okay? But in a recording, you cannot ask questions. You just listen, and probably you might sleep. When you're watching a recording, you might end up being disturbed because you are just listening to an audio. But being in this class, It makes a difference. It makes a difference, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm just encouraging you, don't miss our next classes that are coming from here. Yes. Leader Emmanuel, good morning. Any announcement before we call it a morning? Okay. I know it's very early in Ghana. Yes. It's very early in Ghana. Somebody might be resting while they are in the Zoom. There is a high chances. All right. Leader Soul, any announcement probably? Today is Friday. We do question and answer session. On a Friday, we do question and answer session according to our timetable. Yes. According to our timetable is question and answer session. You ask anything in your business and the answers will be provided any area in the business. So it's called question and answer session. The same time, 10 a.m. East African Standard Time, 9 a.m. South African Time. Yes. Should be 8 a.m. in Nigeria. Okay. All right, guys. So I wish you a lovely Friday. Juma Mubarak to our Muslim brothers and sisters. We wish you well. Happy trading day. Yeah, please trade cautiously. The market is not our friend. The market will never be our friend. The only friend that we have is the trend of the market. When you understand the trend of the market, you're not gonna trade wrong. You will always trade right. So make sure that you make the trend of the market to be your friend, not the market itself. Okay. All right. So guys, we are calling it a day. The recording is available. We are going to share it. Hopefully to see you in the next meeting that is coming at 10, that is coming at 9, that is coming at 8 in different respective times. Thank you so much for attending. We are so grateful. We love you all, guys. Take care and be safe. Bye bye from my side. See you on Monday.